Today's story is from Acts chapter 6, verses 8 through 15, and chapter 7, verses 54 through 60. In the days of Jesus, the apostles were the preachers in the church. They chose other good men who were not preachers to help them take care of the poor, the needy, and the widows and orphans. But these good men loved Jesus so much and learned so much about him that they wanted everybody to know him, and before long they too were going among the people teaching them of Jesus. One of these good men was Stephen. Stephen was full of great faith, and Jesus gave him much power, so that he did great wonders among the people. Now those who hated Jesus came to Stephen and disputed with him, but he put them to silence. Then they hired bad men to come and lie about Stephen, so that the people believed him to be a troublemaker, and caught him, and brought him into the court before the high priest. These bad men came again and lied about Stephen, saying he was misleading the people and speaking evil of their church and their religion. But Stephen was not afraid, and his face looked like an angel's. For when men live with Jesus and do his will, Jesus gives them great courage and faith. And it is not easy to frighten such men. When the high priest then asked Stephen what he had to say for himself, Stephen began to preach to him about Jesus, how God had long ago promised Jesus to his people, and how they killed him when he finally came. These wicked people knew that Stephen was telling them the truth, and they became very angry and gnashed their teeth and determined to kill Stephen too. Still, Stephen was not afraid. He looked up into heaven and saw Jesus standing there, taking his part as a good friend. But the mob of people dragged Stephen out of the city, and picking up stones, they threw them at him, so that they might put him to death. Then Stephen kneeled down on the ground and asked Jesus to take him home to heaven. And when they had thrown many stones upon him and hurt him terribly, Stephen looked up to heaven and asked Jesus to forgive these wicked men. You see, when a man is a Jesus man, he can love even his enemies and pray for them, just as Jesus himself did. After that, Stephen lay down on the ground and closed his eyes, and Jesus let him fall asleep and took his soul to heaven. Stephen might have kept his life if he had promised never again to preach about Jesus. But Stephen would rather die than give up his beloved Savior. And when a man does that, we call him a martyr. From that time on, these Jesus haters acted like wild beasts that had tasted blood, and they went on and killed many other Christians who would not give up Jesus even though they had to suffer and die. But because Stephen was the first one of them all to suffer and die, he is called the leader of the martyr band.